integrity, honor, respect. Who do they serve? Who do they protect?
Freedom's waiting patiently for a treat. Just out on a little walk in my neighborhood. Not going very far today, but I wanted to discuss with you what I did yesterday. And yesterday I did something out of the norm in one regard. In the other regard, I was on my bike, so that's definitely not out of the norm. But I ended up downtown Toronto. I ended up down at College and Yonge Street, just on College, just west of Yonge. And it's Toronto Police Headquarters, TPS headquarters. And I went down there. Someone that I know on YouTube, another YouTube creator, Phil Mission, he let me know that there was going to be a little demonstration down there yesterday morning at 10 a.m. So I made my way down, uneventful on the way there, uneventful on the way back. And the person I went to go see was a gentleman by the name of Scott. And I'll let you know who Scott is in a second if you don't already know him, but him and his husky dog Freedom. So what Scott was doing exactly 1 week ago yesterday, he was down at the Palestinian flag raising that Mayor Chow put on down at City Hall downtown. And Scott was the gentleman that had his amplified speaker turned off when he was playing "O Canada" through it. So a female police officer went around him, went during "O Canada" and hit the off button and shut it off. So that got Scott upset. It got other people upset that were there, and it got a lot of people in this country very upset. Since then, it has made international news. Scott's been interviewed by all different sources of media. I don't think any mainstream media, but that's if he has, I'm unaware of it. But and if he hasn't, makes sense to me, because they don't want to bring any light to that sort of patriotism. So anyhow, I got down there right about 10 a.m. I'm very rarely late, so when I got there, I was the first one there, and he hadn't had his music playing yet, or he hasn't played "O Canada" yet. But a couple other people showed up. Another young lady by the name of Chantel showed up, and she's a regular for the demonstrations. She's a patriotic Canadian, very patriotic. I got talking to her for a little bit, and you know, her main concern is her kids' futures, and she's concerned about where her young kids are going to end up in this country with the way it's going. Very nice young lady. Then Phil Mission showed up, the other YouTube creator that I just spoke about, and his close friend Hannah, which I met one time before down at the Canada First rally. So it was nice talking to them, nice seeing them again. And yeah, I had a couple good laughs with them. They got a good sense of humor, and people that don't know it, I got a bit of a sense of humor too, more so when you get to see me in person. But yeah, so I got some footage of Scott, a little bit of him talking. But what I'm going to do, Phil Mission and Scott have a relationship where they've known each other for years. So Phil Mission did an interview with Scott and with Chantel, and what I'll do, I'll put that footage, I'll put Phil Mission's entire video in my link at the end of this video, and I'm going to put some of my video in it as well. But what I noticed when I was down there, like, I was expecting the police to come out, because what Scott does, he plays music through his amplified speaker, and it's a big speaker, it's loud, and it sounds very clear. It's a good speaker. I don't know what brand it is or whatever, but it sounds good. And yeah, so I thought the cops would be out, but I was down there for about 4.5, 5 hours, and the cops didn't come out once. So they stayed clear of that. But what I was observing, when I put myself in those situations, I want to observe how the general public interacts with patriotic Canadians. That's why I do this. That's why I put myself in this situation. I pretty much have a good idea what's going to happen and what's going to transpire. Anything from some positivity, but mostly I'm expecting negativity. I'm mostly expecting people to view that demonstration as as it's not needed, it's nonsensical, it is disruptive, and to put it into comparison, but a much smaller version, the Freedom Convoy in 2022. Now, I'm going to get into that in a second. I did see both. I've seen the negativity, more negativity than positivity, but I'm going to get into that in a second. So Scott's reasoning for being down there, he wants to get some dialogue going with the Toronto Police Service with regards to a possible apology to him, but more so the country. Like, the national anthem that Scott plays, it's a very stirring rendition of it. It's very patriotic. It's a very, very good rendition of O Canada. So when the policewoman shut the anthem off mid-anthem, a lot of people seen that video. Like, I don't know how many people have shared it, restreamed it, whatever, but I don't know, it's a lot. It's a lot more than my channel will ever see. I'm certain of that. And a lot of people were very disappointed with that. So he's down there, and my understanding is Scott's going to continue to go down there. I don't know what his schedule is. You'd have to talk to him about that with regards to going down there. I don't know. But what I can say about Scott and Chantal, they are tenacious. They're, by all accounts, they're fearless, and they are some of the most patriotic people you'll ever run into, Canadian, with regards to Canadian patriotism. So they're not going away. And I gathered that just by my brief conversation with Chantal and Scott yesterday. Phil Mission and Hannah, they're always there. They are always there. Phil Mission, if you don't know who he is, like I said, I'll put the video at the end of my video. And I mentioned him many times before. He is, well, first and foremost, he's a ladies' man. I found that out yesterday. This guy, holy moly. No sense talking to a woman when he's around. Anyhow, he is primarily downtown. He's on transit. He highlights and videos what's going on in the inner core, but he also goes into the woods, and he's multifaceted. Yeah, so the time that I was there, no police came out, but what I will point out in my video, and I don't think Phil Mission had on his video, but I'll point out in my video, there was an elderly lady wearing all red, a red jacket, I believe a red hat, and she had a bundle buggy, and she even had a Canada maple leaf scarf on, like a red and white scarf. It was like a flag scarf. So when O Canada was playing, Scott takes off his hat. He's very respectful, and this lady flanked me, circled around me, and she took out her phone. I believe she took out her phone. I'm not 100% sure on that. And I thought she was videoing it. So I'm thinking, okay, this elderly lady is a patriotic person and is showing the national anthem respect. So she starts moving before the anthem's over, and she walks past me, and she looks at me. She goes, "Assholes." And I'm like, what? I heard her. I think you'll pick it up on the video too. But she says assholes. And she goes storming by, all 5 foot, one of her, and she's got to be in her 70s, maybe 80s, I don't know. So that leads me into what I'm going to say next. So we had a little interaction with some people. We had a couple. It was a mother-son from St. Vincent and Grenadine. They were downtown. I didn't ask them for what, but I started a dialogue with them. They were looking at the signage and asking what this was about, and we explained it to them. It was, well, Scott explained it that, they shut off the national anthem, and I just said it's a patriotic stance. We are out here today in solidarity, showing our patriotism for the country. And the mother and son, he was a big kid. Kid was big. I don't know, like he was probably in his 20s, late 20s, a kid. Very respectful people, very polite. And I just met another lady on the day before Remembrance Day from St. Vincent Grenadine, and she was outside the Walmart when I was talking to the poppy vendor. I did a video on that too, where they're going to kick him off the property. But I got into talking to her. She pulls out a $20 bill and puts a $20 bill in the poppy box and takes a poppy. Then she says to me, she goes, "I used to like the poppies when they have the green center." So that's going way back. So there are a lot of long-standing, great people that have immigrated to this country. Back in the day, the immigration requirements were a lot more stringent. Now you just go on an app, and I don't even think you even talk to anyone. You just fill out an online request, and you can just come into the country. Back in the day, it wasn't like that, and the unsustainable, unmitigated immigration into the country is killing this country. Now, Dewey, that's a racist statement. That's not a racist statement. That's just facts. I'm on the streets, man. I see this. I just came out of a local Tim Hortons, which I went in and I got a coffee because I forgot my coffee at home, and I never do that going to Tim Hortons. And it's like a homeless community in there. It's busy. Like every seat's taken. Everyone's speaking a different language. I'm just looking around. I'm like, wow. And it's happened so rapidly. Last year in Canada, 500,000 people left an emergency ward in a hospital because they couldn't wait, because it's too busy. 500,000 people in Canada went into emergency because they thought they had an emergency and left before seeking treatment because they couldn't wait around. So what do you think's happening? What do you think's happening with this immigration? Like I've said before, an analogy. Go away on a weekend. Put the stopper in your bathtub, put the water on full blast, and then leave the house. Come back Sunday, whenever you come back Sunday, and see what the damage has been done to your house. That's the same thing with immigration. If it's unvetted and unsustainable, we don't have the infrastructure to handle this. We don't have the jobs. We don't have the medical infrastructure. We don't have the policing infrastructure. We have prisons. We have none of this. Drug addiction. We have none of this to keep up with the onslaught of immigration. So what I noticed yesterday, okay, so we had that elderly old white lady that called us assholes. We had obviously you're down at college in Yonge Street. You're having, multiple different backgrounds in race, religion, everything. It's Toronto, one of the most multicultural cities in the world, if not the most. So you're not getting 10 people that look like me walking by every minute. No, that's not how it is. You're getting people from all over the world, and they're visibly not white. And what I noticed with the people that walk by that I would deem non-white, they just looked. They looked at the signs. They listened to the music. They tried to respect O Canada when it was playing. Some people walked around. Some people didn't. But they didn't say anything. They didn't do any hand gestures. They minded their own business. So, two guys dressed up in business attire, they walked by with their cell phone camera, and they were kind of trying to conceal it, videoing us. Then they went up a little ways, and they were looking at me, and one guy wanted to keep walking. The other guy wanted to, I think, come back, but his friend wouldn't let him. And obviously I seen that. My whole existence is situational awareness, so I don't miss too much. I read what's going on around to see if there's a threat coming, to see who's going to come and challenge any aspect of my existence and the people that I'm with. So, and that's exactly what I was doing. Part of the O Canada, you stand on guard for thee. Well, that's what I do. So anyhow, that might sound corny, but that's what I was doing. So they chose not to come back. One guy walks by, he mutters something, and he's muttering to himself, he's looking back. Another man dressed up as a woman. It was cold yesterday, and this 6'1", 6'2" man was wearing like a camel sill top with spaghetti straps, and he had like a shawl on. And I'm not even kidding when I say this. And this man is strutting down College Street, going east towards Yonge Street, pretending he's a woman. So Scott was bending over and to pick something up or to tend to his dog Freedom, and he said something, and I can't remember what Scott said, but I think the man dressed as a woman thought it was directed towards him. So he turned around and he started muttering something too. So anyhow, he kept walking. So then right before, how you doing, brother? So right before I left, an older gentleman was walking by. I would say he was in his 70s, and he was, he looked a little disheveled, let's say. A little disheveled. So he comes up to me and he says, because I think one of Scott's signs says "wake up" on it, and I didn't hear what the guy said at first, but he said to me, like, "What do you guys stand for?" And I looked at this guy, so right away I know, just by looking at him, it appears to me that maybe he's having some sort of mental health crisis just by looking at him. But anyhow, I can have a dialogue and conversation with anyone to a certain extent, and well, it's up to them how long they want the conversation to go. 'Cause I can go. So he says to me, "What do you guys stand for?" And I said, "Listen, we're patriotic Canadians. We're here to support traditional Western values, traditional Christian family nucleus." So he looks at me and he goes, "Well, that's bigoted." He says this to me, "That's bigoted." So I said, "Sir," I go, how is that bigoted?" And he goes, "Well," I go, "Okay, he couldn't answer. So I said to him, I go, "Sir, we're not here telling anyone that they can't practice their religion of choice. There's freedom to practice religion in Canada, no matter what your religion is. You can practice it in Canada. Whatever religion or denomination you are, we're not here to tell you you can't do that." So I said to him, I go, "How else are we bigoted, sir?" And he just shakes his head and he starts walking away. So I advised him to go put a scarf on before he gets a cold. And he walked away. Just crossing Jane Street here. Hold on one second. Yeah, so then he walked away. Now, like I said, maybe at the most 5 negative interactions. Then we had 2 positive interactions. One young lady, she was in her late 20s, maybe early 30s. She stopped, and I thought she was going to be negative, but no, she was very understanding of what's happening in this country. A lot of people are, but a lot of people are too afraid to speak up. It's much easier to get behind the path of least resistance. People like me, and the path that I haven't chosen. It's just a path that makes sense to me. It's not chosen. If anything, it's chosen me. It's a much more difficult path to navigate daily. So people that want to go along with this narrative that the Liberal government, Mark Carney, and Liberal ideologies is going to benefit this country, they've chosen that path, and I'm at the point now, I'm not trying to convince them otherwise. Oh man, I'm not trying to convince them otherwise because they're too far gone. I know in talking to many Liberals, and even a lot of times unsolicited, they just start spewing the vitriol, and it's very frustrating. It does bother me, but I'm a rational person most of the time, and I can be very irrational at times where I know when to be unrational, and those times are coming. I'm that type of person where to be a rah guy down at a little demonstration in front of Toronto Police Headquarters is not really my bag, because I know where this is going. This is going much higher, and that's going to be more my bag, and you can read between the lines on that. There is going to be a time when the talking has to stop, and that time is nigh. That time is almost here. So, in my estimation, people in politics know this. People in policing know this. People in the judicial system know this. The medical system, they know something very, very life-altering is coming. So, I like going to these events to put eyes on the reaction of people, to see the makeup, the mindset of people, the mindset of the police. I've said this before. I want to see how the police interact with people, and yesterday they didn't interact at all. I think we pretty much all left at the same time, which is a little after, I believe, 2 p.m., between 2 and 3. So I don't think Scott was down there. If Scott was down there by himself, it wasn't for long, or maybe he stayed. I don't know. That guy is, he's a one-man army. He marches to the beat of his own drum. So you're not going to tell that guy one way or another which way to go. So if any one of us say, "Listen, Scott, it's unsafe to stay here by yourself," he'd just look at you like, "No, that's not the way it's going to go down." So, and I appreciate that with him. That's good. Morning.
Morning.
So in closing, I'm going to put some video clips from yesterday in this video. I want to put, like I said, I'll put Phil Mission's entire video on the end of it. People, start preparing for dark times, because I'm telling you, I'm not as crazy as you might think I am. It's coming. If you got any questions, comments, or concerns, put it in the comment section. Hey, you want to subscribe to my channel? Hey, how about that? Try that. If you find anything useful in my videos. Otherwise, hey, don't give me a sympathy subscribe. I want someone that finds use in my videos. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.